Hey, welcome back to our sip and study. Tonight I am sipping on my mullein and nettle. Y'all probably see I drank that a lot. Um, Nettle is great as antihistamine. It's also a multivitamin, good for vitamins A, C, K. Um, Magnesium, manganese, iron, calcium, potassium is absolutely amazing. And then I add mullein to it, which is great for a lung detox. So it helps you expel the mucus that's in your system, get it out easily without trying to cough your head off. It's very good because mucus can hold illness. And so when you have a lot of mucus in your system, it can hold things that can multiply and turn into something else. And so if you are a smoker, if you have asthma, if you're prone to bronchitis and pneumonia, you need something like mullein that's going to help you keep your airways clear, and keep mucus out of your system. Okay. It's very, very important. And nettle is absolutely amazing. So it's great as an antihistamine, but it also helps with prostate health. It helps with heart health, cardiovascular health. It helps with blood sugar levels and cholesterol levels. And so be very mindful of what your body is in need of. There is an herb for it. Okay. Tonight we're going to talk about menopause just briefly. What menopause is, and we know that there's a decline. I have my notes. Y'all know I have my notes. Menopause is a natural decline in reproductive hormones. Okay. And it's typically when a woman reaches the age 40s or 50s, but I don't even go for all of that because now, with the days and times that we are living in, people women are actually being affected by menopause very, very early in life. And it's due to the poor, inadequate food. It's due to the air that we're breathing. It's due to a lot of things that we are intaking, breathing, eating, drinking, the environments that we're living in that have an effect on how our bodies are responding to things. In this day and age. It's very different. So I was thrown into early menopause at 30 because I was involved in a very severe car accident at 30 weeks pregnant, 36 weeks pregnant, where they didn't know if me or my daughter was going to make it. We're both here, thank God. But it had lasting effects. And one of those things that they just kind of threw off my system in all kinds of areas. And one of those areas was related to menopause. So it's a natural decline. It's something that you can avoid. But there are supplements, there are things that you can do to help your process go a little bit smoother. Okay. So menopause, a natural decline in reproductive hormones. So what are reproductive hormones? Reproductive hormones are chemicals that regulate various functions of the reproductive system, including puberty, fertility, and sexuality. Okay. So two key reproductive hormones are estrogen and progesterone. When they decline, that's what's causing the hot flashes, the night sweats, the mood changes, the sleep disturbances, vaginal dryness, and more. Okay. So that's because there's a natural decline in your estrogen and progesterone levels. Okay. So hormonal changes can lead to shifts in body fat distribution. That's why a lot of times people going through menopause, there's weight gain, right? Um, Fat weight distribution and weight gain, which make it harder to lose weight. Lower estrogen levels also increase the risk of osteoporosis and cardiovascular issues. Okay. So there's a lot associated with this. A lot of times we just look at the mood swings and the night sweats and vaginal dryness. We look at certain things, but all of this is a part of the natural decline that associates itself with menopause. Okay, so osteoporosis in women is highly, excuse me, is highly is an issue. this issue is a lot of women who are at the beginning stage of osteoporosis, and you have to really understand what that is and how it's affecting your body. It's affecting your bone density, right? So if both your estrogen and your progesterone levels are declining, and you're experiencing any or all of these consequences from hormonal changes, what should you do? Right? A sipping study, we're studying different ailments, different herbs, so that you can make the best decision when it comes to your health. Okay. So, what do you do when your estrogen levels are declining and your progesterone levels are declining? Right. Whether the doctor tells you in full menopause or not, you could tell whether you in menopause. Okay. Perimenopause, whatever you want to call it, you could tell when you're starting to have hot flashes and night sweats and mood swings and sleep disturbances and your vaginal wetness ain't like it's supposed to be, right? You can tell. And this is usually why. So, what do we need to do? We need to increase both the estrogen and progesterone levels. And there's several ways to do this, right? For the purposes of this video, we're talking about herbs that can do it. So, the herbal action that you would need is an estrogenic herb. Okay, estrogenic herbs, herbs that are going to um, increase your estrogen levels. And then when it comes to progesterone, that's like a backdoor way. There's not an herb that increases that in particular, but it is increased through the backdoor ways of many herbs, right? If it's an estrogenic herb, then most likely it's gonna help your progesterone levels as well because they go hand in hand. They are connected. Okay, so you need an estrogenic herb. That term is used to describe a substance or an action or an herb that produces effects similar to those of estrogen that's already in the body. Okay. So, what herbs do this, right? We got the element, we talk about menopause, we know what it does, we know what it's capable of, we know what herbal action we need. We know what we need to do. We need to increase the estrogen and progesterone. So, what herbs fall under those categories? Now, there are several. There are several. One is black cohosh, absolutely amazing, right? I take black cohosh. It's in a capsule. I have it in a capsule, so it's the menopause pill. Baby, I pop that sucker in a minute, okay? It helps hot flashes, it helps mood swings, it helps osteoporosis, so it helps your bone density, okay? It's absolutely amazing. It helps your weight management. Another herb that helps is Dan Qi, which is a Chinese herb. Absolutely amazing. When I first started studying about menopause, Don Key was the first herb that I used. And it's a bark off a tree, y'all. And when I tell you them night sweats, honey, was gone. Because it's nothing like waking up and you are in a pool of your own sweat. No, right? Absolutely not. It is not okay. So Don Key is one of those herbs that would definitely get you all the way together, right? So Don Key and Black Cohouse together are amazing. They have synergy. Remember, synergy is you're awesome separately. They work good as one, but together they're a force, right? And so that's double the action that you need. I like Black Cohosh because it has the additional benefit of helping osteoporosis. Okay, Don Key doesn't necessarily have that effect, but Black Cohosh does. So if you add them together, you got the osteoporosis protection, you got the vaginal dryness issue taken care of, the night sweats, the mood swings. You got all of that. You got all that protection. Okay, now there are other herbs that can help. Because a lot of times what I'll do as well is add chamomile. Now, chamomile is going to help those sleep disturbances. Okay. You can't sleep, add a little chamomile to your black cohosh, or add some, you can take chamomile flower capsule and a black cohosh capsule. Or you could take some chamomile tea and put it in some Dawn Key, right? Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So it helps with the sleep. So depending on what your symptoms are, because some people only have certain symptoms, some people have everything. But the main thing that you want to be mindful of, you need something to help the osteoporosis because your bone density will be affected. Okay, so black cohosh should be in your herbal cabinet at all times. Okay, and then on top of that, like Daiki and black cohosh together, the night space will not be a problem. The vaginal dryness will not be a problem. If you're having sleep disturbances, add a little chamomile into it, right? Um, I'm looking at my notes, y'all. Add a little chamomile into it. Um, those are really the only ones. I mean, there's other herbs that help, but those are the ones that I know that I know that I know firsthand experience, and then everybody around me who has tried it, it works. It absolutely works. Now, depending on how severe they are, depends on how strong you'll need your tea or how many capsules you need. So that'll be a conversation that we'll have in a consultation. You get it in your system for about 2 weeks, no matter what herb it is, and consistently for 2 weeks. That's going to set the stage for moving forward because you might not need to take it every day after that. I have had clients who started on a Don Key and chamomile tea and I do 4 ounce shots. And that's what I love too, y'all. Like, I keep my Don Key in 4 ounce shot bottles and I keep them in the freezer. So whenever I feel like I need one or I'm going to need one, I take one out, take it to the head, and go to bed. Take to the head and go to bed, right? My black cohosh I use during the day, so I keep those with me at all times. If I start feeling okay, yeah, let me go ahead and pop a couple of these, and I'll be just fine. I don't really have a problem with sleep, so I don't use the chamomile. Plus, I don't like chamomile personally. But what works for you, right? I've had clients who have used it for 2 weeks and they're like, I use it every once in a while. I don't even need it no more because it regulates your system. So you might not need it every day. Do it for 2 weeks and you might not need them, but once a week, couple times a month, right? Because everything's regulated. But I like having the shots in the freezer. So if by chance something throws it off, because sugar is something that you absolutely should stay away from if you are having any type of menopause symptoms, because it exacerbates those symptoms. Sugar is absolute no. I remember telling a client um that they had to stop their sugar. And it was like, oh my gosh, are you serious? They stopped taking sugar, stopped eating any type of sugar for like 2 days. And on its own, the menopause calmed down. The symptoms calmed down, right? So, when we have a consultation, we'll be talking about different things like that. What you should eat, what you shouldn't eat, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. There's certain exercises, there's certain things, that all come in to play when it comes to menopause. For the purposes of these videos, we just talk about the herbs. But if you have a consultation with me, we'll go deeper. And in that way, because a lot of times you might not even need uh, the herbs. You might do it for support, but in general, you can regulate it on your own. You just got to know what it is that you're doing or not doing that can affect your symptoms. Okay. When my client stopped eating sugar, drinking out, she was fine, y'all. She was fine, right? Because the sugar activates menopause symptoms. I don't know what it is, but y'all, it takes it from 0 to 100 real quick, real quick. So that's one of the things that you need to stay away from is sugar. If you have any type of menopause symptoms, you want to do that. So definitely you need an estrogenic herb, whatever. There's a tons of herbs that have estrogenic properties. Okay. But the ones that I know that work, the ones that I use, the ones that I offer are black cohosh, Don Key, um, chamomile. And we're doing an herbal study in my private herbal study group. I'm so excited. We're doing a mushroom study. Last week we did lion's mane. This week we're starting red reishi. And red reishi actually helps with hormonal balance as well. So I'll let y'all know how that works. Because I'm doing a study along with my group. And we have so many different walks of life in this group. I'm so excited. So hopefully I'll be able to add red reishi to the list of herbs that we have that help with hormonal balance. Okay. So That's our sip and study for tonight. If you have any questions, any concerns, let me know. If you want a consultation, just shoot me an email, info@teaswithpurpose.net, and I'll send you the link, or I'll put the link at the end of the video, and we can get you started. All right. Have a great day. Have a great night. Have a great weekend.